Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing seems like the only option available to indie authors looking to self-publish their books, but quite a few alternatives are out there worth considering. I've talked a lot about them, and actually over the coming months, I'll be covering many of the popular KDP alternatives, and this week is going to be an interesting look into the aggregate publishing platform PublishDrive. I'll share how PublishDrive is better than KDP in some regards, and who this website is specifically for, because it's not for everybody, as you'll come to find out. Buckle up, because this is going to be longer than normal episode, because there are so many things to share about this self-publishing platform. So make sure that you stay tuned to today's podcast. Just a real quick little plug here. Got to do some shameless self-plugging. There's no sponsor. It's actually just going to be me. I'm sponsoring myself. Looking to level up your understanding of self-publishing? Well, would you like to get key insights into the business you wouldn't otherwise get through my podcast or YouTube channels? Yeah, believe it or not, there's even more. Then consider subscribing to my video on demand service, The Self-Publishing Hub, where you get access to over 7 courses, dozens of hours of footage, and over 100 videos. For only $9.99 per month, you get access to the Self-Publishing Hub when you subscribe at theselfpublishinghub.com. Don't forget, it's the one, the only, theselfpublishinghub.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into this one, because I will tell you, I've talked about PublishDrive in the past, but I will tell you that I've kind of flagged a little bit over the years, and you're going to find out why, and I'm going to give a little bit more details in just a second here, but let's just start out with what is PublishDrive. It's an aggregate publishing platform that distributes ebooks, print books, and audiobooks, but they come with a catch. It's a subscription model versus a revenue share model. So where Kindle Direct Publishing, they will take a percentage of every one of your sales. PublishDrive doesn't do that. What they do is they charge you a monthly subscription fee. And this could actually work out to be a lot better for a lot of authors, especially ones with an established following. And I mean, you look at some of the pricing subscriptions, and we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. It actually makes a ton of sense, a lot of sense, especially if you're going to sell a certain amount of books per month with no issues. Now, new authors, maybe not so much, but I want you to just hear it out here for just a second here. My experience works back to like early 2019. They were shifting CreateSpace from CreateSpace over to KDP Print. And at the same time, if I can recall, maybe this was the year prior, but Pronoun Publishing had closed its doors. Now, Pronoun Publishing was an aggregate publisher for ebooks, and I had to find an alternative. I needed to find somewhere else that would feed out my books that weren't any of the other options I'd previously utilized before. And that's when I stumbled over PublishDrive. Now, back then, they were a revenue share model, and I think it was like an 80-20 split. So they would take 20% of all net profits back then. Now, I still have a grandfathered account with that, and that they've been able to maintain that. And I think it was somewhere about, I would say August of 2019 seems about right. I could probably be a little bit off on that one. Either way, it was about 2018 to 2019 when they decided that they would go away from the revenue share model. They feel that indie authors should have every dime that's owed to them, and they still need to pay their bills. I mean, crazy thing. They need to keep themselves afloat. And so they switched over to this subscription model. At first, I was real put off by it, because I was like, this makes no sense. This is just absolutely a scam. I just can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it, and I thought about it. And the more I've been in this business, the more I started to realize, like, wow, like literally PublishDrive is doing something that a lot of other companies aren't doing. And that is, they're not taking a large percentage of sales from everybody. Like, they're literally only just going to take X amount of dollars every month in perpetuity. As long as someone has an account open through them, they will forever take that. Now, you know, you could always delist those and move somewhere else if for some reason it's not working out for you. But it really makes sense, especially when you look at some of their base costs and the number of books it would take to sell. And of course, we'll cover that here in shortly. Again, this is going to be a longer episode. So what does PublishDrive distribute? I kind of very briefly covered it here at the very top of this podcast here. They do distribute ebooks, print books, and audiobooks. Specifically, the print books are paperback, and it's rather limited. But I want to tell you, though, the thing that's very refreshing about PublishDrive, they get it right. There are some aggregate publishers that get it 100% wrong, in that PublishDrive is very transparent about what you get with them. Like, you literally can find everything you need to on their website, on their blog, on their help section, and even through like a simple Google search, or even AI can help you figure that out. You can also visit the list of publishing companies and stores that they have available. By the way, I do have a link of that inside my show notes if you need to take a look at those too as well. I'm going to go deep into those ones here in just a second. Now, pay closest attention to the supported countries, since not all retailers are available based on the region you publish from. More about that here in just a second here. So let's talk about ebooks. Where are ebooks? What are the regions? What are the platforms? And what are the percentages that you get? Now, bear in mind, you're going to have to pay a monthly subscription. I'll get to that in just a little bit, but I will tell you the percentages that they have worked out for royalties for each of these platforms. So first up, for ebooks, it's Amazon.com. You get up to 70%, up to. Remember, the whole thing with Amazon is they have the whole 70%. You get paid for anything priced between $2.99 and $9.99. Anything outside of that, it's going to be 35%. Now, they have up to 13 stores in 41 languages supported. They also, inside PublishDrive, have a built-in tool for Amazon ads, and it can get boosted with AI to improve campaign performance. Now, I've yet to use this service, and I would love to try it out and compare it to me doing Amazon ads on my own. It'd be kind of fun to see how that works. Apple Books is the next one. They're actually at a 70% agreement. They have up to 51 stores in any language. There's no limitation there. Barnes & Noble's another one at 65%. Now, this one's got me kind of scratching my head. I could swear Barnes & Noble was 70%. Maybe they just didn't get a good deal with them, or maybe I'm just misremembering at this point. But you get a 65% royalty for Barnes & Noble through PublishDrive. They have one store in any language. That one store is available exclusively in the US only. Now, Google Play Books. This is an interesting one. You get 70% royalty, and you get 75 stores in any language. Now, there's a little bit of a catch, and it's because of Google Play Books. And I remember when this happened. Google Play Books doesn't play around. They do not want anybody distributing your books on their platform unless you're performing, or unless you're doing it yourself. That makes a lot of sense. I'm sure you're probably like, that makes tons of sense, Dale. I know, I just said it and it sounds stupid. Either way, Google Play Books wants the actual authors to distribute it, but they will allow administrative privileges to certain platforms, such as PublishDrive, to come into your account and publish it for you. So in the event that you want to do Google Play Books, you're going to need to set up your own account. You're going to need to give those privileges to PublishDrive, and then from there, you just let them do the rest. You don't even need to fill out any of the bank information, I don't think, because the fact that they're going to collect all those earnings for you and give it to you. So Google Play Books is a really nice one. I really like the fact that it reaches 75 stores. That's all across Google. Kobo's the next one. That's a 70% royalty. There's 28 stores in 187 languages. Now, let me go ahead and tack on an additional one here, because we're going to go into subscription services, so we might as well mention Kobo Plus, which is a subscription service through Kobo. There's a 60% royalty for them. They have 2 stores in 187 languages. Now, I'm thinking that maybe they haven't updated it lately, their information on PublishDrive, because Kobo Plus reaches way more than just 2 stores these days. In fact, I actually just broke into the US and UK more recently, and I can't remember that one off the top of my head, so you may want to reach out to PublishDrive support to figure out if that 2 stores is more than that. I'm guessing that it probably is. The next one's Scribd. Now, you get a 55% royalty on that one. It is 1 store in any language. Storytel is another one at 50%. 1 store, 27 languages. Bookmate.com's at 50%, and you get 8 stores, any language. Now, I'm just burning through these ones really, really fast, and for good reason, because, some of these, you can probably just Google them up and figure out that you can't get to those individual platforms. You actually have to go through like a broker, like PublishDrive, or like a Drafted Digital or Smashwords. Bookmate.com, though, I've only seen on PublishDrive so far. It might be available through Ingram Spark, but don't quote me on that one. Dream's another one. Now, that's a serial publishing platform. So if you're doing short form fiction, think like Kindle Vella. That's Dream, and that's a 25% royalty. They've got one store, 4 languages supported. 24symbols.com is 55% royalty. It is one store in any language. Now, Perligo, never heard of Perligo before, but there's the first for everything. That's a 55% royalty, and it's a one store in any language that you wish to do. Let's switch over to library providers. Oh, there's going to be a lot here, folks. I'm trying to burn through them fast because we're going to be hitting 2 other types of publications. Baker & Taylor, you get a 50% royalty on them. There's 360 stores, and it's available in any language. Overdrive.com, really nice. That is a company normally associated with Kobo Writing Life. I believe Rakuten is the one that owns Kobo. They used to own Overdrive, or maybe they still currently do, but there's still kind of a partnership between Overdrive and Kobo. So it doesn't surprise me that if there's something put in place for Kobo already, that Overdrive's involved. Now, Overdrive distributes library books, or books to libraries. They do it to 43,000 stores, and they have it available in any language. Now, keep in mind, that's just 43,000 stores is what they say, because then it actually spreads out to number of libraries and educational institutions. Hoopla, very much like Overdrive, is up to 70% royalty. They have 2,000 stores and 3 languages. 2 of my favorite apps right now as a reader include Libby, which is the customer-facing portion of Overdrive, and Hoopla. Hoopla is really, really nice. Love it. I highly recommend that if you are in these library systems, tell your readers, educate those that are out there that are looking for your books, that it is available through libraries, because some people may not be able to afford your book, or maybe they aren't willing to put down money on your book. So this is a great way to get those tire kickers engaged and get them hooked on your books. But Hoopla's up to 70%, 2,000 stores, 3 languages supported. Now, there's a good reason why I didn't cover every single one of the languages, because it gets just messy after a while. Odillo.es, that's at 65%. It's 4,500 stores in any language. Biblioteca, it's at 70%. They have 30,000 stores, any language. And Mackin.com's at 55% with 50,000 stores in any language. Now let's go ahead and just transition over into some regional stores in Asia and Eastern and Western Europe. This is a lot of these ones I'd never heard of until I saw PublishDrive. So they're a little bit more niche, but it's nice because you're reaching into almost every nook and cranny when it comes to using PublishDrive. iReader is one that's at 35%. It's a little bit more modest. I was kind of underwhelmed by that, but it is what it is. You get 14 stores, and it only supports 1 language. Tolino and German Network is at 50%. Now, in their words, it's 82 plus thousands of digital libraries. I'm not sure if PublishDrive didn't, proofread that particular portion of describing things. 82 plus thousands. I would have thought it would have been like 82,000 plus of digital libraries, but it is what it is. I'm not going to go ahead and, try to nitpick it too much here at this point, but it is available in any language. Chinese ebook stores are at 50 to 60% royalty. Now, there are 2 stores, thousands of libraries, and I quote them on this one, and any language. Gardeners.com is at 60%. They have 1,500 stores. Any language is supported. Siando.com is at 70% with 180 stores. Any language supported. eCentral.com is at 70%, and they have 3 stores. Any language supported. Impic Group at 50%. There's 2 stores, 5 languages. Voxa ebook is at 50%, 1 store and 2 languages. Lazy Joy, that's the one that cracks me up every time. Lazy Joy, like I'm gonna go get my books at Lazy Joy. They're at 65%. They have quote unquote dozens of retailers, okay, and 9 languages. diebook.hu, that's at 65%. Now, this is a Hungary only support. So if you're in the country of Hungary, this is perfect for you. There's one store available in 6 languages. In fact, actually, the next couple of stores or distributors are going to be, or retailers, excuse me, I know what I'm talking about some of the time, are available only through Hungary. So the next one is Econiv.hu. I'm sure I mispronounced that. That's at 60%. They have 4 stores and in one language, which of course is Hungarian, as you would imagine. Multimediaplaza.com's at 70%. One store, one language, again, Hungarian. It is Hungary only support. And last but not least is eLitoltes at 70%. One store, one language. You guessed it. It's Hungarian, of course. So there is quite the widest reach you're going to see of any platform out there, barring Ingram Content Group, Ingram Spark, if you will, because Ingram Spark reaches 40,000. But I mean, if we were to kind of compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges, Ingram doesn't really fully tell you all of the avenues they hit. They don't. They just don't. That's one of my biggest gripes when it comes to Ingram Spark and Ingram Content Group, is the fact that they don't tell you specifically where you're going, and they cite privacy reasons for it, which has always just kind of irritated me. Like, privacy reasons? What if I want to send someone over to that specific avenue? Like, but I'm going to get off that soapbox. That's for another, it's another podcast for another day. All right, let's go into paperbacks here. Now, the types of books you're going to get is going to be, of course, paperback books for print books. Now, it's very limited here to a certain extent. It is available, the available types vary per region. Now, you're going to see a per region link is going to be inside the show notes that you can go ahead and review which types of books are available where. So for instance, there are 16 trim sizes available for Amazon and Ingram distribution. There are 16 trim sizes for Repro in India distribution. Now, the trim sizes total that you have available are going to be 30. Compare that to KDP that only has 16 trim sizes. And you can see why I say that when PublishDrive has become better than KDP. Well, there's many things that they've done better. They reach libraries. They reach print on demand in India. They have more trim sizes. They don't take a large percentage of your earnings. In fact, it's a fraction, especially if you're making a substantial amount. So something to think about. Their paperback books are available in white or cream 50-pound paper. It's black and white only. So if you're looking for standard or premium color, they unfortunately don't have it right now. But knowing PublishDrive, they're probably working on it. And they also have glossy or matte covers. Now, what regions do they cover? Now, this is not going to be as in-depth as the ebook one was, thank goodness. The regions that they have available is Amazon Print at 50% royalty. Now, that is worldwide reach. It supports 41 languages and 8 stores. You're getting a little bit more limited as far as if you were to compare KDP Print to PublishDrive, since there, I think, were 12 stores, or maybe it was 11 stores. I can't recall off the top of my head, but KDP Print does reach more stores this way. So interesting to see that there's less when you're going through PublishDrive, but that's okay. Ingram Global Distribution, you get a 45% royalty. So it sounds like they're giving the deepest wholesale discount possible. And that really can be very helpful, especially if you're going to distribute to them and you want to reach out to a local indie bookstore and tell them, hey, my book's available through Ingram. They can probably go into their catalog, see that there's the deepest discount available, and go, oh, well, yeah, we're going to definitely go ahead and stock you. Whereas if you were to go directly through something like Ingram Spark, it's adjustable based on specific regions. So you can do a 40% wholesale discount through Ingram Spark. It's not going to greaten your likelihood of getting into a store, obviously, because stores, they don't want to take a gamble on some unknown indie author. Now, Ingram Global Distribution supports any languages in 39,000 stores. It is available in US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Next one up is CNPE Reading Platform at 50% royalty. Now, this is China Print's distribution. It supports any languages. Now, in all caps, they have listed down 3 online retailers, thousands of libraries. In fact, in their words, CNPE Reading Platform integrates enormous digital resources in foreign languages and provides innovative digital resource solutions for library customers and final users through its cooperation with a wide range of international well-known publishers and integrators. Dangdang and JD.com are the biggest e-commerce platforms in China. The Dangdang store has an estimated number of 30 million visitors monthly. Not bad. JD.com is one of the 2 massive online retailers in China by transaction volume and revenue, a member of the Fortune Global 500. Tmall is a Chinese language website for online retail spun off from Taobao. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it for sure. Operated in China by Alibaba Group, having over 500 million monthly active users. Pretty cool, I think, right there. All right, so the next distributor is Repro India. They actually got this one, I believe, back in 2023, so it wasn't too long ago, and it is a 50% royalty. Reaching into India has been a really big pain point for a lot of my followers and viewers on both of my channels. A lot of them are like, hey, how do I get print on demand in India? Repro India, and you got to go through PublishDrive. Supports any language. Now, Repro Books is the leading provider of print on demand services in the Southeast Asia region, more specifically India, of course. Let's transition over into audiobooks. Cover some of the regions that they have here. And again, I'm going to kind of cover it rapid fire like we did with the ebooks here. Apple Audiobooks, you get a 45% royalty. That's going to be 22 stores at your reach. Audible, not surprising, 25%, and you get 15 stores according to them. Google Play Audio is at 50% at 46 stores. Where are you at, Apple? I mean, where are you at, Audible? I mean, geez, 50% through Google Play Audio. I think that's really freaking good. Kobo Audio is at 45% at 22 stores. Overdrive Audio is at 45% and 40,000 stores. Now, Overdrive, as I'd mentioned before, is the leading digital reading platform for libraries and schools worldwide. It's one of my favorite ones. They are dedicated to creating a world enlightened by reading, by delivering the industry's largest catalog of ebooks, audiobooks, and other digital media to a growing network of 88,000 libraries and schools in 109 countries. Next one up is Bookmate. Here they are again. Bookmate Audio at 50% with 8 stores. Now, their main focus is on Russia and Southeast Asia, but also selling in US, UK, and Spain. Here comes another one we've said before, CNPE Reading Audio at 60%. And they have kind of like this ambiguous thousands of digital libraries. Of course, this is available through China, as I'd mentioned previously. Now, here's a really cool one. Findaway. You've heard of the name Findaway before. Of course, they own Findaway Voices, which Findaway is owned by Spotify now. And I imagine this probably hits some of the avenues that isn't currently hit by PublishDrive. So they have a flexible royalty of 36 to 40% for up to 35 stores. Now, in their words, Findaway is an audiobook aggregator service that sells audiobooks to retailers like Barnes & Noble, subscription services like Scribd, and to digital library providers like Biblioteca and Odillo. Next one up is Gardner Audio. That's at 45% and 9 stores. They more importantly cover areas like UK, Sweden, Poland, and Denmark. Voxa Audio is at 50%, 1 store. It's in Romania. Lazy Joy, here it is again. Lazy Joy Audio at 50. You're being so lazy, Joy. Sorry, Joy. If your name is Joy, and I'm not trying to call you lazy. They are, probably. They have, quote-unquote, dozens of stores again, and it mainly focuses on Southeast Asia and Europe. Storytel Audio is at 50%. They have 1 store, and it services Brazil, Bulgaria, Colombia, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Iceland, India, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands. I'm going to skip the other like half dozen or so because that's a lot right now. We're already running long as it is. Impic Group Audio is at 50%, and they have 2 stores available through Poland. And there's one, I think you have to have ebook distribution through PublishDrive first, and that's Apple Books Digital Narration. That's at 45%, and that's at 22 stores, only in English, and it's available in North America, United States, Canada, Europe, Austria, Portugal, Ireland, Belgium, the list goes on for this one right here. It's actually a pretty deep list. All right, so I've already kind of bloviated for a long time telling you all of the minor details, but I just really wanted to paint a very big picture about how transparent their platform is. The fact that they tell you exactly what you get for what you invest every month for their subscription. Now, how does PublishDrive pay you? Well, they pay 100% of net profits. As I'd mentioned before, you only have to pay a monthly subscription fee based on the amount of books that you publish through them. Now, each book that you publish, be it ebook, print book, and audiobook, all count as one book each. Even though they might be the same publication, for those 3 iterations, they consider those 3 separate things. So they have the starter plan, that's at $14.19 per month for one book. And so that's actually on the annual plan, and I'll mention nothing but the annual plans at this point because it just makes sense. You just get annual because it's going to save you more money in the long term. They have 35 distribution channels, so you get not quite all of what PublishDrive can be able to reach with the 35 distribution channels for just that starter plan. Now, they also have included sales analytics and reports, marketing and promotion tools, plus email and chat support. Their next tier is standard. That's $20.99 per month for 6 books. So you could technically do 2 publications in total with 3 different iterations, and you'd probably be set right there. That is 52 distribution channels, so it's taking advantage of everything that PublishDrive has to offer. And this includes everything in the starter plan plus in-store featuring. Now, I'm not sure, and I should have reached out to support on what in-store featuring means. Maybe someone from PublishDrive will be able to explain it inside the comments, and I'll pin it over on YouTube. Now, the Plus plan is $41.99 per month for 18 books. You get the same thing that you got over inside the standard plan, plus a shared account, meaning that you can have other people log into your account and not have to worry about getting your stuff shut down for, using numerous people. So it's essentially like having a team available. And then their top tier account is called Pro. It's $83.99 per month for 48 books. That, of course, includes everything in the previous plans, as well as bulk import books, APIs, and priority support. Now, the payment type and frequency. Let's go ahead and just talk about this one. In their words, PublishDrive compiles sales reports around the 10th of the month, 2 months after the sales, with the deadline of the payment being the end of the same month. So essentially, it's 60 days after the close of the month is what it works out to be. For example, sales made during May will be reported around 10th of July and paid at the end of July. If that makes sense. There are some exceptions to that rule since Amazon and Ingram POD sales, print-on-demand sales, have a 4-month cycle. That's not on them. Unfortunately, you have to work at the mercy of these folks. Meaning if you sell a print book in January, you'll get paid in May. I know, it's a little bit more delayed. Not my favorite thing in the world, but it is what it is. They have minimum payment threshold of $5, but you can change that payment threshold higher if you wish to, because it breaks down to $10, $15, $20, $50, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000. The payment types you can get is wire transfer, local bank transfer, check, PayPal, or Intercash. I've never heard of Intercash before. And they also honor Payoneer, by the way, folks, although that would be kind of considered like a bank transfer. The unique features I want to kind of briefly touch on with PublishDrive include Abacus, which is about $2.99 per title per month. So if you're doing co-authoring with some other folks that you're splitting some revenue, Abacus can kind of help you figure that out. They will do the first title free forever. There's no exception. They just like, hey, you can do 1 title for free with us, not an issue. They will offer custom pricing based on the volume too as well. They will calculate earnings for each contributor for you. So it makes it dead simple for you for your whole bookkeeping and everything. They also offer book marketing services, which they'll get you access to exclusive marketing services and perks based on some different platforms. They also run price promotions, send free review copies, run ads, and so much more. Another really cool feature is their bulk import. So if you're happening to move from one platform to the next, you can just upload or update your book's metadata in bulk with just one single file. Another one I wasn't aware of this until more recently when I interviewed Danica Favorite from PublishDrive, was they have an ebook converter as well as a print book converter. And it is 100% free to use. So if you're an account holder with PublishDrive, they're like, hey, these tools are available. I think at one point, and I might be speaking wrong, I might be misremembering on this, I think they used to charge for it at one point, but now it looks like it's free. Hey, get premium access to my video on demand library. I've already talked about it. $9.99 per month when you visit theselfpublishinghub.com. The one, the only. It is theselfpublishinghub.com. I don't want to bloviate too much longer because we've already gone kind of long on this one. How is PublishDrive better than KDP? Well, we can all agree. KDP is the big dog. Sure. But at what point do you want to sacrifice all of your earnings to KDP when you could probably be going to numerous other avenues and reaching other places? So if you're nailing it on KDP, let's say you're going KDP Select and you're just pulling in thousands per month, maybe PublishDrive ain't for you. That's totally fine. But if you're looking to go wide and you've got the following and you want to reach into libraries, you want to go overseas into China, have print-on-demand books in India, PublishDrive is going to be for you. But it comes with a caveat because keep in mind that as soon as you start to publish through PublishDrive, you're going to have to pay the bill every month. That small bill can add up in due time. And if you don't have the sales to justify that monthly expense, eventually you're going to be pulling out of your own pocket. So I would recommend this to established authors or those authors with a marketing plan. If you did like the basic plan of $14.19 per month, let's say that you're profiting, I don't know, $5 per book. We'll just throw that number out there. It's a random arbitrary number. And all you need to do is sell about 3 books per month in order to justify the starter plan. Just adjust that thought process with each one of those tiers and thinking about that. Keep in mind that however many books you have distributed through them, that's how much you're going to have to pay every month. It's not just like $14.19 for just the month that you uploaded to. No, it's $14.19 in perpetuity. So just bear that in mind. Hey, we're going to go into another platform this next week called Kobo Writing Life. It's one of my favorite ones, and I'm going to share with you some of the many really cool things and why I feel Kobo Writing Life's got it better than KDP. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will catch you next week.